Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Palisa. This channel is all about healing for our people from centuries of colonization and white supremacy. I want us to be able to heal as a people because we've been speaking about this for a long time, that we need to unite, we need to develop this continent, but it's just not working out. The idea that all African people on the continent and in the diaspora should become one family has only been a talk, and nothing has really been done about it. There was an idea that was adopted over 100 years ago, Pan-Africanism, which is based on an idea that all African people should come together, unite, and fight colonization. We've had great leaders like Marcus Garvey, W.E.B. Du Bois, Thomas Sankara, Patrice Lumumba, who have tried to bring Black people together and to help this continent to develop. They've tried in their own countries, but they were betrayed by their own people in their inner circles. So the idea that we should unite, it's only an idea. It's just not working out. And even now, we don't see, leaders actually taking it upon themselves to ensure that this idea materializes. We have so many Pan-African movements, but still, they have failed to unite. We have Pan-Africanist Congress of Azania here in South Africa. They're just fighting amongst themselves. There's worldwide Pan-African movement. I remember we had a convention in 2016 here in Soweto, but nothing came out of it. It's just meetings after meetings after meetings. But why is it so difficult for us to come together as a people? Why is it that we still see each other as enemies? Hence, I'm doing these videos because we need to be honest here with ourselves, that we have not healed from all these centuries of exploitation, poverty, being killed like dogs, lynchings, our people being taken away to foreign lands to work as slaves. We haven't spoken about all the people that have been exiled, who have died in exile, and we don't even know where they are. We're not talking about the psychological, emotional, financial damage that white supremacy has done to us. So as long as we're not honest with ourselves here and go back into history and try to go back to our original selves, we will always remain divided. Taking into consideration that there are people who are so damaged that there's no hope for them. We cannot unite, all of us, as African people, as Black people, as brown people, as Abantu, because we've gone through a lot. Some of them, or rather some of us, have sold our souls to the devil. But unity is possible. We have been betrayed by our leaders on the continent. We vote for them and they betray us. They promise us so many things. If you vote for me, free water, free electricity, free healthcare, free education. Remember those days? And we all were flocking the polling stations because we were so sure that this time, the liberation that we have wanted so much, that we have died for, now is going to be realized. But after the elections, they turned their backs on us. They have sold us to the Western powers, to the imperialists, to the, dark forces, these faceless people who are still controlling us even today. Some few individuals that have been handpicked have become billionaires and multimillionaires. So do you think that they would want to come back to their own people and unite? Our people are still being used against their own people to ensure that there's no unity. We've been given so many things that are keeping us distracted from working towards unity. There's money, there's fame, there's so many things that we are all yearning for, that we all want to have. But then there's a catch. There are conditions for you to get those things. You have to betray your own. So it becomes very difficult for this African unity. I mean, I see this betrayal even here in our country, how our people, African people, are being used against us in this country. Our borders are porous. Everybody's coming in and out as they please. And what is happening now, you find that Black South Africans have been replaced by Black immigrants in this country. They are illegal, but they're getting the jobs. They're getting the businesses. If you go to Joburg, you will never find a single Black South African owning a business in the city center. And even in our townships, they have taken over. It's Somalians, Ethiopians, Pakistanis, Bangladesh, they're all here owning businesses, but Black South Africans don't own any businesses. I remember in the 90s, early 90s, after the release of political prisoners, when the entire Africa was flocking to South Africa, we were all so happy, so excited to see them, like, oh, our brothers and sisters, because during apartheid, South Africa was closed off. We couldn't go out and nobody was coming in. So we were not used to seeing people from other countries. So when that was happening, we were so excited. And I remember, advocating for their stay, saying they are our brothers, they are our sisters. But then they betrayed us, now calling us lazy and stupid. They don't realize that they are being used by the dark forces because they don't want to see the unity of the African people. They think that they are better than us, that they are smarter than us, and it's not true. A lot of Zimbabweans would say, we Zimbabweans, we're very smart, we are more intelligent than you South Africans, and we've got the best education. But they can't create jobs. They can't produce food with all that education and intelligence. So, unity, and I have to emphasize this, unity does not start with countries coming together. It starts in the family. Unity starts with an individual who says, I want to be liberated. I understand what unity is. Then brings together the entire family. That's where unity starts. Today we don't have families. Siblings are fighting each other. People can't live with each other anymore. Siblings are killing each other over their parents' house, over inheritance. There's no more love in the family, no more warmth. So if we say we want to liberate Africa, we need to start in our families. So when families are united, they come together and form a community. And all these communities come together to form a nation. Then all these nations come together to form a continent that is united, including our people in the diaspora. That's how it works. So we cannot be united when in our communities we do not even get along. It's worse in the continent. Tribalism is rife. Yes, we do have tribalism in this country, but it's not that bad. Our president, for example, comes from a minority tribe. It's not even an issue for us. The issue is that he has betrayed us. He has sold his soul to them. You go to countries like Zimbabwe, where Ndebeles are saying the Shonas are discriminating against us. They're exploiting us. In Ethiopia right now, Brothers and sisters are killing each other. There's a war going on just because you belong to a certain tribe. In Nigeria, people speak different kinds of languages and they don't even get along. It happens all over the continent. So if we fail to unite and get along in our countries, how do you expect the entire continent to come together? That will never happen. So we need to realize that for us to be united, it starts with an individual who understands what unity is. So we can not be united when we are not speaking with one voice. What we need to do, we need a very serious sit down where we all come together and describe what unity is. What does that mean to us? Why is it important? Where do we start? Who should lead this? So all these things are important if we say we want to be united. We must also be able to identify the things that divide us. So that is what is important. That's what we need to be doing as a people. So talking unity of the continent, it's just not going to work. It is possible to be united, but as long as we don't do what needs to be done first, then it will never be realized. Pan-Africanism today is now a tool of the New World Order. They say open up the borders. We don't do that. We can't just open up the borders. There has always been borders in Africa. They were different. There were no fences. You didn't need a passport. But people understood that this is somebody's territory. This is somebody's homestead. This is somebody's country. And people respected each other. They respected the laws of that country. But today, if you look into this country, people are coming from all over Africa. 53 states of Africa are here. And they are disrespecting us as the people. They are insulting us. They are killing us, destroying our property, stealing from us. And then they have the audacity to tell us that we are Africans, we have a right to live wherever we want. Pan-Africanism says an African person cannot be a foreigner in Africa. Good. But then why is it that people are African only in South Africa? Because if we're talking African unity or Pan-Africanism, that all the borders must be opened. They must be destroyed at the same time. People have a right to come here and live in South Africa without proper documentation. But South Africans cannot travel in other African countries without documentation. You will be deported. You will be arrested immediately. So you see that we're talking right, but we're doing left. So Africanism, Pan-Africanism and African unity only works to serve you because there is something that you want to benefit. In this country, when we complain that the borders are open and there's too much crime that we're seeing from foreigners and that they are insulting us, people say we are being xenophobic. So this is a term that is used to manipulate us and to blackmail us emotionally. And our brothers and sisters can use it at any time against us. So there's no unity. We can speak unity, but as long as we don't act on it, then it will never materialize. And it's up to each and every one of us individuals in our own little corners to think about this and take the initiative to say, you know what, I want unity. And then go find like-minded people and come together and go back to our families. If you don't get along with your family members, don't speak African unity. If you can't unite or be at peace with your family, what makes you think you will be able to unite and liberate Africa? This is a huge continent. It is the biggest continent on this planet. I know we are told different, but that is the truth. We need to be realistic that charity begins at home. So if you want to do good for humanity out there, it must start within your family. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this video with other people because it is time that we need to start the dialogues amongst ourselves and find a way to find each other, to be able to hold hands and unite and fight colonization. It's okay to have all these wonderful concepts, but they don't mean anything if there's no action behind those words. Thank you so much. I will catch you in the next video.